they did not treat us as equals. It's like somebody comes into your house, takes over, and rules over you, and you're just treated as servants or slaves or something, in some inferior creatures.
I do feel that having the presence of British rule in India benefited India in many ways. We got a modern railway system in Asia before many other parts of the world did. We got the modern library system, we got the hospital system. So a lot of the advancements from the Western world were actually introduced to India. So for all those reasons, I feel that their presence in India was entirely
negative. Obviously, they never became part of the Indian culture. They never assimilated the Indian culture. They were always separate. They were different, and they wanted to basically extract as much as possible from the Indian culture, that the Indian people. That's what they wanted. They wanted money. They wanted taxation. They wanted all the heavy gold and jewelries and all that, which the Indian kings had. So everything was being extracted from India into Britain. So that's not how you build a country. That's not their objective. Their objective was basically to colonize India and keep them under subjugation for as long as possible. But during the partition, when one country became India and Pakistan, so one country was pretty much broken down in two. At the time, there was a lot of bloodshed. So that's one of the bad aftermath of independence, I think, which left a lot of people very sad, angry, and so many different emotions. I think that's not a good aftermath.
Almost 50 to 100 years. It was like they lost faith. They thought that we could not do anything by ourselves. We have to depend upon others, like British people and everything.
Today, I mean, even though there is no imperialism there right now, people still follow there is still remnants of imperialism. Like people follow certain practices, certain the way they work. It can show us that they're following some of the British traditions.
I still see a lot of that. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I will do as you please, ma'am. It's so ingrained in the culture, no matter where you go. I still feel that, when we travel from here, United States to India, and we have fair-skinned people traveling with us, even though I'm coming from the same background over here, same company, and I probably could be in a better, position title-wise within my company, I do see that the Indian people in India are treating my fairer counterparts, the white people, with a greater degree of respect and deference than they need to, almost to the point of being obsequious. So I feel to a great degree imperialism hasn't left India, so it's just so deeply ingrained in the culture.
If you look at it from a narrow point of view, like we did, we don't like it, of course. I mean, there are things that happen. It's not right thing, and it wasn't good at that time. But if you look at, sometimes when you look at a big picture, you just see that what's the end result of it right now. Of course, there are some things which definitely we are benefiting. As a woman, we are benefiting, and the language has made us more globally accessible. We can communicate. We Indians, the only reason we can come here, stay here in US, and or the people over here can work with people in India is because of the language, and that was a remnant of them. So now it's benefiting us a lot.
In hindsight, I think what would have worked better for India would be not their intent to colonize India and extract as much as possible, but maybe if they became part of India and embraced India and accepted the Indian culture and tried to settle down in India, maybe that would have worked better, so that they became a part of the Indian community and the culture. But because their objective was different, and the Indian masses, the common Indian mass, was always put under a lot of stress and distress and penalized for every single thing that they did in their own homeland. That's why that eventually led to all the revolution, either through anger or through peace or through whatever movement, which led to the Britishers eventually leaving India.